Hey everybody, this is NJ here, the host of the NJ podcast, and this is Wisdom Words Wednesdays. This is part of the Everyday series where we share insights and inspiration based on a wisdom principle. The more you do, the more you get, the more wisdom you have, the better choices you make, and the better the quality your life will be. And on the show today, we are going to talk about get over it. Like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat would say, get over here. I'm here to say, get over it. Life happens. This is what we call life. Sometimes things go well, sometimes things go bad. Sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're sad. And that is what we call life. And if you live long enough, you're going to go through experiences and setbacks that are going to push you down, have you feeling dejected, and you're going to feel really sometimes emotionally depleted and traumatized. And what can happen? Because we're human beings and we have a propensity to think more in negative terms than in positive terms, we can end up dwelling on the past, dwelling on what happened, dwelling on what went wrong, dwelling on what we should have had, dwelling on what we could have been, dwelling on what we could have done. The problem with should have, would have, could have is that it is not productive and it's not going to get us anywhere that we want. There are people who get stuck in a situation, and it's a very natural human thing, where you cannot get over what happened. You keep replaying it and you'll go and complain to anybody that will listen to you. I've heard a story of one person that lost his house, and for decades after it, every person he would tell, he would go and complain about what happened over and over and over again. I heard another story about a man who lost his wife, and he kept cutouts of the newspaper articles about that entire event that happened to his wife. So this man was not able to move on from his wife dying because he kept on reliving that thing over and over and over again. So then he was a prisoner of his past, and he could not live in the present, and he could not prepare for the future. The best way for you to be progressive, because success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal, is for you to get over what happened and move on. It may be hard, it may be difficult, but it is possible for you to move on. The first thing that you can do if you go through a situation that's not fair, if you go through something that you feel should not have happened, sit down, meditate, and ask yourself, what really happened here? Was I really wronged? What could I have done differently? What can I learn from this? And how can I become better? Instead of dwelling on it and complaining. Here's what happens when you keep on complaining. When you complain, you keep in existence the situation that you do not want. What you say or do is what you are making true. So if you keep on complaining about your partner, complaining about your job, complaining about what's going on around you, you're not focusing on what you can do to move out of it. And people can get addicted to complaining. Why? Because if a person keeps complaining about their problems, they get a sense of significance. My problems are bigger than yours, or I have more that's about to complain, so you have to listen to me because I am a victim in this situation. But here's the thing about people you complain to. 80% of people that you complain to don't care, and 20% of them are 100% glad that it's you. So don't complain. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to complain? Don't complain. Go do something about it. Get over what happened and move on. If something was not fair, go and make it fair. And if you cannot make it fair, forgive and move on. Ronnie Coleman, greatest bodybuilder of all time. In 2000, he was at the Olympia press conference, and people were complaining that people who placed 15th or people placed last would not get any prize money, and it was not fair that the people who were winning were getting this money, because in that sport you put so much time, so much effort, and so many resources into looking your best so that you stand on the stage and be able to compete at the highest level. And people were complaining that if you did not place, you were not getting a good reward. And Ronnie said that nothing's ever going to be perfect. From day one, we've been battling over this and battling over that. It's always going to be a problem. In 1992, I didn't place at all at the Olympia. Didn't get a dime, didn't get a dollar. I didn't complain. 1994, I didn't complain when I got 11th. 1995, I didn't complain when I got 9th. 1996, I didn't complain when I got 6th. 1997, I didn't complain when I got 9th. Moral of the story is, why complain? If you're not happy with the sport that you were competing in, if you're not happy with what's going on, then don't compete. I didn't cry, I didn't get mad, I didn't complain. I just kept doing what I kept doing. I got better at what I kept doing, and I beat y'all. That's why I beat y'all. Just keep on complaining, and maybe one day you'll realize that the little kid that complains is not going to get you anywhere than where you are right now, in second place. So if you keep on complaining, you're not going to change the situation. And I know that some things can happen to you that are not fair. It is not fair that you get robbed. It is not fair that a certain person leaves you. It is not fair that you were born in a circumstance when other people were born in different circumstances. It is not fair. And if you cannot make the situation fair, if you cannot correct it, the best thing that you can do is to forgive. Because if you do not forgive, if you do not let go of the weight that's on you, you're expecting to drink poison and have the other person die. It is not productive. Learn to forgive. The scripture, it says, if a person harms you and wrongs you, you should forgive 70 times 70. The person, Jesus was not after the number. He was not after 490, because what are you going to do if someone harms you 489 times? On the 490th time, you're going to be like, no, whack in the mouth, now I can beat you. No. What he's saying, you need to be perpetually forgiving, because if you hold on to what complaints, you hold on to what happened to you, then you end up being sick. Some people are sick because they cannot forgive. I was watching a documentary on Netflix, and they detailed 9 steps for you to be healed. The documentary is called Heal, and one of them is to list all the people that have ever hurt you and ever harmed you, and for you to forgive. And that's the first step for you to be healing. And the next thing about getting over it is you are too good to be stuck. You are too good to be focusing on what went wrong. You're too good to be stuck in your past. Like, if your past equaled your future, then we would all be in trouble. Think about it. Malcolm X, when he was 20 years old, he was a pimp, he was a drug dealer, he was a hustler, he was a fornicator, but that was not the end of his story. Then he became the greatest civil rights leader of all time. Maya Angelou, if she was held on to her past and stuck to who she was in 20 and not be able to get over the raw hand she was dealt in life, she would have just died a prostitute and a single mother. But now she's one of the greatest writers of all time. Your future does not equal your past doesn't equal your future. You have to believe that you have a greater future that's out there in front of you. And the very first thing you need to do is to what? Get over it. It may have sucked, it may have been bad, it may not have been great for you, but learn to get over it. I hope that you enjoyed this episode of Wisdom Words Wednesdays, where we talked about get over it. Let's recap. You need to get over what happened to you and move on. If something was not fair, make it fair, forgive and move on, and know that you are too good to be stuck. If you like this, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, please. And if you're interested in any other merchandise, please head over to the website. Have yourself a fantastic Wednesday. Learn to move on, get over it, and know that you're too good to be stuck. And I will see you on the next episode.